Julie Grace Burke, what does intelligent luxury mean to you?
Well, there's a not very flattering answer.
I want that one.
All right, so the thing I don't say a lot. Let me give you a hint, brand new real estate agents out there in the world. If anyone ever says, that's so you, that's your brand. Let's talk about AI. Where are we going with that? How is technology constantly playing a role?
It's been amazing to me since the onset of ChatGPT and AI, how much better some of our competitors, like their listing copy has gotten better, where you're like, this person couldn't even form a sentence before.
It's so true.
And now through AI, it's like, well, is that you? Or is that the artificial intelligence? And I think the luxury is going to be in capturing the essence of the relationship, which is exactly what you're kind of all about.
It's going to be authenticity. To me, intelligent luxury is that luxury stewarded properly requires intelligence. And you have to be thoughtful. You have to be really thoughtful about it.
Hi, this is Asha Saxena. I'm a tech entrepreneur, professor at Columbia University, a best-selling author for The AI Factor and The Digital Human Advantage.
I'm Julie Faupel, CEO and founder of Realm Global, a community for the most elite real estate professionals in the world.
So this podcast is going to touch upon artificial intelligence and luxury. But most importantly, it's going to talk about how it's redefining luxury in today's day and age.
I'm so excited to learn more about how we protect our most precious assets, our relationships, using technology and artificial intelligence.
Really think about the culture and, most importantly, the human potential. I welcome you all to continue listening and participating. Welcome to Intelligent Luxury.
Julie Grace Burke, it is such a pleasure to welcome you to one of our inaugural Intelligent Luxury podcasts. Thanks so much for joining me.
I'm so happy to be here, all the way from Greenwich, Connecticut. Luckily, it didn't take me too long to get here today.
Well, we're surrounded. Talk about Greenwich, which has its own kind of provenance. Mm-hmm. And we are surrounded by the provenance of the Waldorf Astoria today. And so let's talk a little bit about kind of your market. Just set us up for kind of where you've been, and then we'll talk about where you're going.
Greenwich has been a super interesting ride. So this is my 20th year in real estate. I can't believe it.
Congratulations.
I kind of dabbled for a long time. I think I really leaned in probably 8 years ago or so. And then when I made the move to Compass 5 years ago, I was ready to take it to another level. Things in my life allowed that to happen. Kids were gone, et cetera. It's been a fascinating ride because the top of our market, like the rest of the country, was 04 to 07. And COVID brought us on a super high ramp up that kind of just brought us back to those prices. So it's only now in the last 12 to 18 months that we're seeing prices that have gone beyond where our last market top was. And I think we still have a ton of room to run. When you look at the other towns that I refer to as one-name towns, right? So Madonna has one name, Prince had one name, Aspen has one name, Palm Beach is two, but really one. Greenwich is like that. Yep. Nobody says I'm going to Palm Beach, Florida. They're going to Palm Beach. Mm-hmm. Very few people say I live in Greenwich, Connecticut. They just live in Greenwich. And I think that we are fortunate to have the sort of community of the world and of people who own luxury properties and who want to move in certain spaces, not just among their financial peers. Because what I love about Greenwich is that it's still very much a community for everyone. Our team did 2 or 3 of the highest deals we've ever done in 2026. We also sold multiple properties, many, 3 or 4 at least, probably at the lowest end of our market in Greenwich. So we appreciate that there's a spot for everybody there, but people do want to move in places where they can have a homey neighborhood sort of family experience that's friendly and safe feeling if they're a young family, but also one that has a little buzz. It's cosmopolitan. There's a jillion restaurants. There's many languages spoken. There's a real international flair, and there's cultural and intellectual pursuits. I think we're just so lucky to have all of that. Greenwich has remained super hot. We have not had the slowdown that you're seeing in the national news. I was looking at the Wall Street Journal, obviously over the weekend, other publications saying that for the first time in, 60 or 70% of the markets in the US, it's a real buyer's market. Not so in Greenwich, not even close.
It's so interesting when you talk to the most successful brokers in the world, you amongst them, right? We all work across the markets,
Right.
where it's not like everybody always says, oh, well, it's Julie Grace Burke. She's the queen of Greenwich. She only does the super high end. But you just said
no.
it doesn't matter because you want that you want the generational influence.
Yeah, I think for us, that's really what it's about. And when you think about your own life, you live your life in a multi-generational environment. You had parents, maybe you still have parents now, maybe you have adult children now, maybe those adult children are having children of their own. Why would you ever segment yourself to only one demographic? You wouldn't do it in your social life. Why would you do it in the type of business that we have, which really is about partnering with people in a very discreet but helpful advisory role and directing them in a way that makes sense?
Well, so you just said a couple of really interesting things there, right? So a very discreet, which is something that is a little bit of your trademark, and yet advisory and kind of, guiding them capacity, right? So when you think about that, and we go back to kind of reframing what this podcast is all about and why I'm so excited to talk to you today, when you talk about intelligent luxury, right? So discretion has always kind of been at the heart of luxury. And so has advisory kind of capacity and this role of trusted advisor. So when you think about kind of what that means looking forward, how does that play in to being kind of that informed? Like when you're talking about data and intelligence and in a place where it's pretty conservative, as you,
Right.
As you willingly admit.
Yeah. I mean, I think that actually sort of politically and in terms of diversity, Greenwich is much less conservative than the surrounding towns. It's sort of a mini little city. And COVID spurred that on, and I'm all for it. I love it. And we very intentionally chose to raise our children in Greenwich. Those outside of Greenwich, other parts of the country probably laugh when they hear me say that it's much broader and diverse than other spots, but it is relative to its immediate neighbors. But I think that for me, let's talk about AI. Where are we going with that? How is technology constantly playing a role? I work at Compass. Compass has always been known for their platform being tech-driven. I think that data is critically important to me. Being the smartest person in the room, not in a cocky way, but having as much actual factual information up to the second that you can to help your client make the best decision is not only a gift, but it's your responsibility. I think that where the AI piece comes in is it's going to take Greenwich a little longer to reap the benefit of what it can do for bigger and more moderately priced markets, okay? I'm not using AI or data to go out and say, skim off people who you think are looking on Zillow and send them to me and I'm going to work some cold leads. That's not how my business works. It never has. What I do think would be great is to help level up the data. So for example, when you come from a city, especially New York City, you're looking in buildings where there's a couple of metrics. Are you in the A line, the B line, the C line, and then price per square foot? Price per square foot is all you ever hear. Mm-hmm. Well, we have people come out from New York City and they want to know about the price per square foot, and it has virtually relatively little bearing on whether the final decision is a good one about what they pay for a given property. Mm-hmm. And part of the reason, if nothing else, is that we're still in a business that's brokered by people, and people can manipulate data. So I might look at one listing and the data is the total square footage on the tax card. Well, in Greenwich, that's only the first 2 finished feet of living area. Mm-hmm. And on another listing, that might be provided by the architect who included all of the living space, including the 3rd floor and the lower level. Or it might be the builder who included the garage and the crawl space and everything to make it sound as big as possible. I would love an AI tool that went in and said, I did my comparisons, I gave it to AI and said, level up the square footage. Just find one metric.
Let's invent that, Julie.
Right? I mean, so that's where I think it will be helpful. But I think we're a long way from tech being in the lead. It'll be a tool and we'll train it, but it doesn't get nuance. And Data can suggest an opportunity. It can put something in front of you that says market forces make it look like right now is a good time to make a move, any move. But it's still going to be discretion that decides whether you should move forward.
So nuance, intuition, discretion, I mean, that's exactly how you built your business.
Well, think about what are people, especially people who have choices, okay? So the more wealth you have in many ways, as long as you have your health, God willing, the more choices you have. There's virtually no house in Greenwich that I can sell a very high net worth person that they couldn't build themselves. So what are they buying? Why are they coming to Greenwich? They're coming because of the things that they can't readily just plunk down on a plot of land somewhere else, whether it's a spectacular choice of lots of different private schools, single sex, co-ed, religious, non-religious, Montessori, whatever you want, we've got it. People will do what they can to ensure that they have safety and that they have privacy. So to me, if you want to feel safe and you want some privacy around your lifestyle and your choices and where you're deploying your assets, I'm probably not taking your picture in front of your new house and putting it on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's probably not
Yeah,
happening.
that's right. That's right. But it's so interesting because it is, I mean, I think everybody has their own marketing platform. Right. And your signature orange and your kind of your style is one of the most well executed I think I've ever seen, but totally under the radar.
You're very, very kind. I got very lucky because I turned blind at 50 and needed to get reading glasses. And the first pair I grabbed were orange. And everyone who knew me said, oh my God, that's so you. Of course you got orange. Of course you got orange glasses. And whenever, like, let me give you a hint, brand new real estate agents out there in the world. If anyone ever says, that's so you, that's your brand. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's that you make the very best espresso or you walk 95 dogs or you only wear purple sneakers. Whatever your friends and closest family members say is so you, that's what it is. And I got lucky a little bit with the way the orange took off because it's free.
And it's so you.
Also, it's a. If you look at the color wheel, it's very happy. It's very cheerful. I'm pretty outgoing. It allows me to brand without betraying confidence because I can just put the glasses or put something orange or put a little hint of it somewhere, and people know that it's me. But I don't have to give away even street addresses. I don't ever discuss my clients in any fashion. My very closest friend, when I sold her a house years ago, we'd been looking for almost 3 years, and my husband went with her husband to play golf. And her husband said, oh my gosh, Julie's great. She's been doing such a great job. And my husband was like, what are you talking about? Because even at home, I just said, I have a client. I've been lucky with the orange in that respect.
I guess when you think about that and kind of going back to the whole intelligent luxury kind of theme, right? There's a luxury in working with somebody that has been so deliberate, but not. I don't know a better way to say it.
So I think there's two things. There's two components to our business. The fact of the matter is that what you really are is a marketer, okay? I don't build the house. I didn't decorate the house. I'm not the landscaper. I didn't make the decision on whether to pave the driveway or make it gravel, and I certainly didn't steamroll the asphalt myself. So what I am is coming and being a storyteller and coming and looking and saying, how can I show off this property to its greatest advantage and also to the advantage that is most worthwhile to the seller? So, for example, this is not me with no makeup and without my hair done today. I know that I'm being filmed. I decided to help what the Lord gave me at least a little bit. I think with our properties and with sellers, it's the same thing. Sometimes a big, splashy, public, we need 1 million pictures, we want to get this on. It's not that people don't want privacy, it's that maybe they want speed. So I say to them, put the kids in the car, pack away every bit of personal paraphernalia. There's not a picture, there's nothing with your name on it, and you go to Disney World, and I will have this house sold in 5 days. Well, then I want to splash it everywhere. Privacy be darned. I want to get it out there and get it done. sometimes people really, really just want discretion. And sadly for us in our business, a lot of times, you know, buying your first house is fun and exciting, and that's always such a happy occasion. But selling houses it's not always a happy occasion.
Yeah,
and I
good
think
point.
that's where the discretion piece really comes into play. I take pride in the fact that we've been pretty deft marketers, and I've had 2 amazing partners who have worked as marketing directors with us along the way, and that's come to fruition. People are in a store and they see an orange sweater and they text me like, I thought of you. It's an agent maybe who heard me speak I haven't even met personally. That shows me that's working, that's valuable. So you should want to work with a really good marketer if you're selling your house.
Yeah.
Whether they're going to splash it on a billboard or it's just going to be a quiet whisper campaign. Are they still going to make good decisions, look at the property, show it to its highest advantage? Are they going to dig a little bit deeper in their own wallet to bring out the highest level videographer and the highest level photographer? I mean, that's what we do. We partner with our clients, and we put our money where our mouth is.
Well, so, you know, I mean, it's one of the things, it's so funny because we've always kind of thought of ourselves the same way, where it's like we make an investment and it's just part of our MO where we don't compromise on how we market our properties. But it's been amazing to me since the onset of ChatGPT and AI, how much better some of our competitors, like their listing copy has gotten better, where you're like, this person couldn't even form a sentence before.
It's so true. It's so true. You know, imposter syndrome is going to take on a new meaning. It used to be that you were me at my level and you still woke up every day and say, someone's going to realize I really don't know what I'm doing. This is a joke. I don't deserve to be considered a top agent. I don't deserve to be in Realm, you know, for example, which I'm so honored to be a part of. I think imposter syndrome, unfortunately, is also going to take a term where people are going to be able to be pretty darn good imposters. I mean, think of what they can do. They can take pictures, they can edit them, they can relabel them. Someone somewhere else could be pretending they have listings they didn't have. They can sound like they write really well. They can ask for data and put it in a pretty chart and send it to somebody without anyone really checking it. I mean, I worry about that side of it too. So we need intelligent people harnessing our artificial intelligence.
I think that that's what makes this so interesting. And you just brought up such a great point, because it's intelligent luxury. I mean, I'm kind of letting everybody guide how this unfolds. You know, when Asha and I came up with this, we were like, okay, well, you know, nobody's talking about how this kind of is affecting the luxury space. It used to be like your things were luxury. And so, and then handbags started getting knocked off. Okay. So then your social media was like, I'm going to show my luxury lifestyle. But then people were taking a picture of themselves in front of somebody else's Ferrari. So then that's a knockoff lifestyle. And now through AI, it's like, well, is that you or is that the artificial intelligence? And I think the luxury is going to be in capturing the essence of the relationship, which is exactly what you're kind of all about.
It's going to be authenticity. I mean, I was joking with you upstairs, like I'm the only woman in Greenwich who's not on vitamin O. So fine. But what am I? You know, I'm a middle-aged woman who raised a family in Greenwich and loves running this business and hopes that I can build it. I hope that I can bring along younger agents. My greatest day would be when they come to me and say, we outsold you last year. It's time for us to be full partners. I'm not threatened by that. That would be a win. But I know who I am. Well, that's I'm like kind of you know,
I would say that's intelligent luxury. Yeah. That's intelligent luxury.
But I think people respond to that. I think that's why the orange works. I think that's the glasses, the whole thing. The AI piece will allow people to really fake it. And when you look up, I did a design panel that I was moderating earlier at the end of last year. And in preparing for that, there was a lot of talk of luxury. And luxury is brutal. That word should almost, you know,
be stricken from the English language.
It's overused. But when you look up the good old dictionary definition, Merriam-Webster, Oxford Dictionary, there's a word that comes up every time, and I've said this before, but the word is comfort. So yes, wealth, all the connotations that come with wealth, extravagance, money, those words come up. But comfort comes up as a dictionary definition that's associated with the word luxury.
Interesting.
And to me, that's the absolute heart of what we are doing in Greenwich. Yes, we're providing material comfort, beautiful home, gorgeous pools, fabulous. But most importantly, we want you to be comfortable. I want the client to be comfortable, and I want them to be comfortable with us and be comfortable that they are getting A+ guidance. I mean, you're kind saying I'm the queen of Greenwich. I'm not, and I never will be. I will never be the number one agent in Greenwich, because I think I spend too much time talking people out of buying houses that I really don't think are the right move for them. And to me, that's what people will respond to.
Well, because it gives them comfort.
Yes.
Yeah.
They know you're being honest.
Yeah.
When you look at them like,
don't do that. No, I mean, some of the best deals that you do are the ones that you counsel your clients away from.
Totally.
Because you're like, I don't want to have to resell this house someday.
Right.
You know, you're like, leave it alone. Put the scissors down.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. No more bangs for you.
Right. That's right.
It's not your look.
So what is the skill set that you look at as kind of like, this is the elite broker of the future?
So I have the elite brokers of the future on my little team. I just started a team officially a couple of years ago because there was a young woman in my office who I looked at and said, that is me 20 years ago, but probably even better. And I was like, come sit here, little girl. And now this wonderful young woman about to have her second child, Liz Levison, who is my only sales agent. It's just me and Liz doing all the selling. She's absolutely incredible. Millions and millions, $30 million at least this year, probably more. What are the skills that I saw in her? Plain and simple people skills. Everybody loves her. And when Craig Gibson came along, who is our sort of director of growth and client experience, really, we truly have a concierge level of service now with this little trio. We're like a little family that I know most other agents don't offer, like most other brokers are not bringing to the table. Craig comes in and in his charming and ineffable way wins everybody over. He worked, has a long history in high-end retail. And so Craig comes in and does just the right zhuzhing and sets up just the right staging and just the right photo shoot. But also, you know, we just did a sale for someone very quickly. We had an off-market sale. It was, $6.5 million. We got it sold in 6 days. But the clients needed to move quickly, and they've already left.
Wow.
So while most of the house was empty, there's a fully loaded wine cellar. There was an incredible art collection. There are children who need properties. Some of the stuff has to go here and some of it has to go there. I sell the house and I walk out, and it's Craig's relationship with that client, because we're now finding the white glove service that's going to unpack the wine cellar, put it carefully in the refrigerated truck, bring it all the way to Texas. Like, those are the services that we just feel beginning to end. It's like you said about, when you level up. Mm-hmm. I love when a marketing person or if you hired someone who's to run your business, they would want to know immediately, what percentage of a listing do you spend on your marketing? I'm like, I should know that. I should know the numbers because it would be interesting, I guess. But I spend what is required, period. Sometimes it's not a lot. Sometimes it's probably a much bigger percentage of the ultimate net commission than it should be. But I take my brand so personally that everything I do for a listing has to reflect the same level. And if it doesn't, I shouldn't have my name on it.
It's a great point. No, you're right, because the moment that you compromise, it's kind of like you can take 20 years
right.
and build a brand.
Right.
And the moment you fall from that, it's like
why you have to be so careful with your teams.
Yeah, right. Right.
Lean and mean and know your people. And to get back to that, when I was talking about Liz and Craig and what's the future, do we use all of the technology? Yes. Does our operations manager even live in Greenwich? No. Our operations manager, without whom we could not function, lives in Florida. Thank goodness for technology. We can text and Slack and Zoom and do all the stuff that we need. But at the end of the day, if you gave me 30 of the greatest Mensa minds, technology whiz, software engineer, AI experts, or you gave me a Liz and a Craig, even without a computer, I'd be like, give me those two. It's a people business. It will never, ever not be a people business, ever.
And so really, so your point, and as we kind of sum things up, it is all about kind of using these tools, whatever it is today.
Yes.
So today it's Chat or Claude or Gemini.
Right.
It's using what we have today to really enable
I don't think you can be lazy about it. So I do think what I said earlier, I would love an AI tool that went through and leveled all the data, right? So that we knew that we were getting apples to apples on something as simple as square footage of a house. I'm not going to take the time to sit down and start training ChatGPT to research that and figure it out. I would love somebody to do that. I think you have to learn them and you have to know them. I use it every single day. Certainly the Compass platform is using it. I want to know how to do everything myself. I will never be one of those old lady brokers that like, oh, I don't know how to fill out the form. I don't know how to use DocuSign. I do know how to do it all myself, and I will always continue to, so that we're using those tools intelligently. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, they're only going to be in the toolbox. It's never going to be the lead dog, not in a business like ours.
So as we close out our conversation, and thank you so much, because I am in awe of you. But Julie Grace Burke, what does intelligent luxury mean to you?
Well, there's a not very flattering answer.
I want that one.
All right, so the thing I don't say a lot, and I certainly have not said before on camera, is that I'm often fascinated by the way people choose to allow others to steward their assets. It fascinates me. You and I talked about this on the phone the other day. You would never let your yoga instructor's boyfriend.
I love this.
Think about your house.
Yeah.
You bought a house. You're very lucky you live in a wealthy area. You bought a house before COVID for $2 million. And today it's worth 4.2. You made some really good improvements. The market has skyrocketed. And now you have, let's call it $3 million in cash equity in that property, in a basic white colonial home. Okay. If that cash was cash in a wheelbarrow, dollar bills, you would never wheel it over to your even your really close friend who just got their real estate license a month ago and has never had a listing before, and hand that money to them. Let's say they got their license as a wealth manager. You wouldn't be like, congratulations, you just learned how to manage money. Here's my greatest asset. Here's all my money. Here's my life savings. You would never give it to that person. Mm-hmm. But people do that with their listing all the time.
Crazy.
And I just urge anyone, before they make that decision, to go to their balance sheet, go to their mortgage statement. What's left on the principal? How much equity do you have in that property? And choose your broker the way you would choose a wealth advisor for that same amount of money. To me, intelligent luxury is that luxury stewarded properly requires intelligence. Ooh. And you have to be thoughtful. You have to be really thoughtful about it.
Brilliant. Thank you, Julie. Thanks for joining me, and thank you for dropping some incredible knowledge.
It was really fun. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Intelligent Luxury. Asha and I are delighted to continue on this journey with you as we continue to unpack the soul of the transaction and the intelligence of the technology.
At its best, luxury is intentional. So are the ideas you choose to engage with. If this episode inspires you or informs you, continue watching, continue listening, continue learning, and be on the path of growth. Thank you for listening. This is Intelligent Luxury.